What the hell's going on here? Killer Sloth, no time to explain. Slotherhouse was directed by Matthew Goodhue, who did a project called Whoa, as well as a few other films. This was written by Bradley Fowler, who did a film called The Voices, and has a few acting roles to his name. Also written by Caddy Lanigan in her first writing credit, but she has a few acting roles to her name as well. Check out their respective IMDb pages for the full list and other work. And this movie starts out in the jungles of Panama. Oh, there's a sloth hanging on a tree in Panama, and there's poachers in Panama looking for trophies in Panama. They capture this sloth from Panama, and one poacher in Panama takes this sloth home, but oh no, they're really fucked from Panama. Okay, now that nobody is watching this because that was a terrible, terrible song rendition, and I'm amazed that any Van Halen fans would not just say, you are just a fucking weirdo. Yes, I am. Let's just say this particular poacher doesn't realize what he's done. He has a bunch of animals at his house, and we find that out after he meets Emily. And Emily is at a mall. At least I think it's a mall. There's stores. There's an escalator that qualifies as a mall in this day and age, since malls are just dying quickly, eroding rapidly. Enough about the, desecration and degradation and devolving of malls. Let's get back to this. Emily saves a dog and is talking to this particular poacher. She saves a dog that's running through the mall. And he says, oh, you're an animal person. Yes, I am, but we can't have animals at my sorority. Well, hey, if you change your mind, how about a sloth? A sloth is still a goddamn animal. I don't know if you know this. That's not really how things work. But she says, well, that might not be a bad idea, but I really can't do that. He says, you change your mind, give me a call. Well, it turns out Emily maybe decides to take him up on his goddamn offering. By maybe, I mean absolutely, because she wants to become president in her last year in college of the sorority house that she is a sister of. Sorority sisters of the Slotherhouse Sisterhood. Sloth. God, that's a deep goddamn cut. But she decides, yeah, okay, I'll get this sloth. Make it the mascot. She goes over to the poacher's house, finds the sloth, and takes it back. And let's just say that she doesn't realize what she's done. Because even though she really wants to win this presidential election really goddamn badly and beat Queen Bree or Brianna, it turns out this particular sloth is a vicious, vile killing machine. Why? Because it's called Slotherhouse. Do we really need any other explanation? No, it's a killer sloth. It's a puppet version of a sloth. But who doesn't love sloths? The disease-ridden, flea-infested, slow-moving, piss-running down their body animals. They're all slovenly in nature. Sloths are weird. They're very weird. They're off-putting to me. I mean, they deserve to live. They're just very off-putting to me. That being said, it's called Slotherhouse. The sloth kills sorority girls, and that's really all you need right there. When I saw the trailer for this, I'm like, okay, yes, all this in my face. And wasn't able to catch it in theaters because my time was limited, and it wasn't playing anywhere near me after one particular running day. So I decided to catch it on streaming, and I'm happy to report that after plunking down about $7 to rent it, that while there are a few issues I have with this as far as maybe, a 93-minute runtime, when it's campy, when it just fully leans into the stupid nature of a killer motherfucking sloth and stupid sorority girls getting killed, it's great. It is great. It is a teetotal fucking blast. There are issues, like I think sometimes it takes itself a little bit too seriously, and I don't necessarily understand why. But when it leans into the campy part of it, as I said before, it's like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, animal attacks movies, fun, goofy slashers, and not taking itself so seriously most of the time is a good thing, because this makes it infinitely better than Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Even though I thought the cast did the best they could, and it was a neat little idea, and the storybook opening was pretty goddamn good. That's right when the movie went downhill, was after that. And they're making a sequel to that. Slotherhouse is just pure entertainment for the most part. Is it absolutely one of the wildest romps you'll ever see? I mean, at times, it's a wild romp. I think that there are some points where I'm like, okay, it seems like they edited some of this with garden shears, like characters will just pop in and out. And no, you don't need a deep narrative with a movie called Slotherhouse, but what hurts it is it's PG-13. I really wish they would have leaned full on into the gore, even though I understand they were trying to go for a wider audience. And from there, it's fun when it just has the sloth doing its thing and just killing because it's a killer sloth in a movie called Slotherhouse. I enjoy it. I had a lot of goddamn fun with this. I really thought it was a teetotal blast for, I'd say, about 80% of the runtime. There were a few times where it dragged, but it was what it was. Let me talk about the cast now, because you have Lisa Ambla Vanar. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. She plays Emily. She was in a show called The A-List. You have Madison, played by Olivia Rowe, it's like RouYre. Like anybody's going to respond to this, so they know how to say that. I just didn't want to screw it up. She was in a show called High School. Then Brianna, the bitchy character that is played by Sydney Craven, who's in Jeepers Creepers Reborn. And I'm happy to report she's given a lot more to do in this. And fucking hell, Sydney Craven is beautiful. Good goddamn grief, she is captivating. I can't wait to see what other projects she does. That's what I thought when I saw Jeepers Creepers Reborn. I was like, fuck, she's beautiful. And she plays a great bitch here. It's fun. It's like Mean Girls meets a killer sloth, or at least it tries to be Mean Girls meets a killer sloth. There's Chloe Grace Peterson, who was in Deadly Cheer Mom. Okay, I think I know what else is on my goddamn list. Deadly Cheer Mom. That sounds fun. Actually, it does. And there's various others in this. I mean, a lot of characters that don't really end up meaning all that much. I mean, Caddy Lanigan does have a brief role in this. I do have to say there is a brief character, Anita Yu, who, boy, she's beautiful eyes in this. Everybody plays their roles just fine. It just seemed like some people got their roles cut. But yeah, from there we get we get one character, Zenny, who's like, I guess the tomboyish type, the tough type. Bianca Beckles Rose. I would like to see what else she has on her IMDb page, and maybe, what else she's going to be in the future. Because I thought she was good. I thought there were some bright spots as far as the casting outside of the killer fucking puppet sloth. But nevertheless, it was filmed in Serbia. By Christ, can you tell with some of these attempted American accents? I'm not knocking at all. I can barely do an American accent, and I was born in this fucking country. But you can tell sometimes when they get a little excited. It's like, the tone's just a little bit off with it. But it's called Slotherhouse. I mean, just embrace the fun and ignore the flaws that the movie has. It runs a little bit long. I think 80 minutes might have been better. I think it could have been cut down by 10. But it has enough fun, breezy nature about it where you're going to end up enjoying it, because Slotherhouse is called fucking Slotherhouse. And yeah, you could tell everybody had a lot of fun making this. I give credit to Matthew Goodhue. I'd like to see what else he can do. And the writers did a good job with this. Even for all the flaws that the movie has, it's still fun and breezy and works well. And I recommend that you guys check it out. See what you guys thought. Rent it on Amazon. It's worth it. Maybe buy it for $15 and watch it anytime you want. But at least rent it to give it a shot. Throw a few bucks. Let's support films as much as we can, especially small films like this. Films that try to have some fun and try to just go goofy. And then more films like Slotherhouse can be made, where people are able to take chances and bring goofy stories to life. And we can support films during this time of the actors and writers strike as of this recording. It was what it was. Entertaining for the most part, some issues, but it was fine. It was fine. Very entertaining. I am going to get into spoilers right now, just so you know, but plenty of pretty girls, killer sloth, goofy nature, and some fun dialogue, some good wit. 3, 2, 1, and spoilers. Okay, so basically the sloth is taken from the jungles of Panama. I already said that. And then it turns out the sloth needs some kind of medication because it was drugged. It was drugged, and why the hell not? Why the hell wouldn't you want to drug a sloth and take it away out of its natural habitat? Also, the sloth kills a crocodile because it gets pulled down from a tree, and then the sloth kills. Why does the sloth kill? I don't know. I don't think they ever explain that. I just think the sloth just decided to kill because it's a killer sloth. I do question why the college looked more like an 1800s British tea house, but let's just move on from that. Tiff Stevenson, who is Miss May, she was like, I guess, the house mother, so to speak. She was fine. She was entertaining. Zenny, I kind of enjoyed as the comedic relief. And for the first, like, little bit after the crocodile gets killed, it seemingly forgets that it's about, a killer sloth. It sets up a little bit with the college. And then the poacher gets killed. And then he ends up, so he's dead. And then animals are roaming around. It seemingly implies there is a loose tiger in the house. Okay, that would have been weird. I would have liked to send the Tiger House. It could have been like that Katy Perry Roar video, but with slightly better production values. So, Emily brings the sloth there, names it Alpha, and one thing she did was she took a picture with the poacher, and that factors in a little bit later. She took a picture like, oh, hey, I met this guy, and oh, cool, you have animals. The sloth somehow figures out how to use the computer, sees this picture, and gets pissed off like, I thought you were my friend. You took a picture with this person that took me out of my habitat. So die you must. Sloth man. Would have been better if it had laughed like Skeletor. So, I don't really understand how the sloth somehow managed to get around so goddamn quickly. Considering sloths are really, really slow animals, it kills various people. That's really all it does. I mean, it's a movie called Slotherhouse. There's a friendship between Emily and Madison, Lisa and Olivia. Madison ends up, meeting almost a tragic end and a hilarious moment a little bit later on. But the sloth kills one of the girls by roofing her. That's good. Apparently, the sloth took the Bill Cosby route. And then we see a montage of deaths, like by hair curler and by sleeping bag, smothered in a sleeping bag and pushed off the goddamn roof. How did they get that up there? Who knows? So then everybody just forgets that the sloth is... Everybody's disappearing, but nobody bothers to question it for a while. Madison ends up saying, you need to put the sloth back in its natural habitat, and then suddenly a car hits. A car just hits Madison, going 40 in a frickin' parking lot. Good driving there, over in Serbia, or wherever the fuck they were. So, yeah, Emily ends up going to see ends up seeing her friend, has a heart-to-heart with her. Meanwhile, this election's going on between Brianna, Sydney Craven, who again, just fucking gorgeous. God damn, she's gorgeous. And it's like, oh no, if Emily doesn't show up, she won't get elected. She gets elected as a new president. And then the sloth just starts killing. The sloth did end up killing somebody via a loofah. No, seriously, smothered somebody with a loofah. Slotherhouse. And then somehow managed to drive the car to the hospital. Drive, I believe, Emily's car, if I remember right. And pulled a Chris Benoit with Daniel Benoit and smothered Madison with a pillow. And then everybody just starts getting killed. Your sloth is going to kill me is a line that was uttered during this whole thing. And then the girls, more of the sorority girls play this your trust shower game. I saw that in the movie once. Always delete your search history. But yeah, the sloth is just around. Then the sloth adjusts the hotness and melts a girl and then electrocutes a whole bunch of them in the shower later. Brianna is still a bitch. The sloth just won't die. Just will not die. Gets shoved out the goddamn window. Through a window, that is. Emily's boyfriend totally disappears for like about the entire movie here. It's very... It just shoves characters back in. Then Miss May almost kills the thing with like a sorority pledge bat thing or whatever and ends up basically, dying. She gives this whole long speech and everything, like, don't waste your life like I did, all that, all this. It was actually kind of a funny scene, so I recommend you guys check that one out. And then what the hell is going on here? Killer Sloth, no time to explain. And then Zenny shows up with a bunch of swords. She had a sword earlier, like in like one scene. So then she becomes just like ultra badass and throws knives, and then ends up getting stabbed. But the sloth gets stabbed, but the sloth won't die. There's a gun involved. Madison comes back with the gun. Madison wasn't smothered. And then they all just end up teaming up on the goddamn thing and killing the sloth. There was one funny line that the boyfriend said, "Oh, I need to go back." Emily says, "You can't. It's a Slotherhouse." I mean, that's kind of funny. And then, yeah, it's shot to death and then killed. That's it. Just killed. It bleeds out. There was one funny point where it got stabbed in the head with a tiara. And now, 4 years later, they are doing good causes for animal poaching and stuff. And then there's a tour of the jungle at the end where this girl takes this picture with a sloth. And then it has some funny sloth selfie stuff and everything. And also the sloth was posting on social media while all this was going on, while it was killing. How it was doing that, I don't know. When it leaned into the campy nature, it was fun. There were issues, of course, but B+, it was entertaining. I give it a B+. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.